A teen dumps his parents and sister into a 50-foot deep pit in the forest, all so he can game. To keep them from starving, he tosses down food and water now and then. The three in the pit are furious, but they're helpless. The pit's too steep to climb, no way to scale those walls barehanded. They're stuck in that stinking hole for 2 whole months. But what the hell pushes a teen to do this? It starts a few days back. John tanks his exam, gets a straight F. His teacher keeps him after school for extra work, which reeks. When he comes home, his family's relaxed and carefree. Why should they have it easy, he seethes. Even gaming is limited. His dad, Brad, controls his screen time. Frustrated, he heads to the forest. As he walks, he stumbles on a secret. There's a 50-foot pit in the forest. Instantly, a twisted idea hits John. Trap his family here so no one can nag him. At lunch, he asks his parents about the pit. Dad Brad tells John that pit was supposed to be a storm bunker from a developer. They started building it for disaster protection but never finished. A total abandoned project. It's miles from any town. If you fall in, no one will hear you shout for help. Hearing this, John's already got a plan. But his parents brush it off. He slumps onto the couch, thwacking a tennis ball off the ceiling. Thump, 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 obsessed with that deep pit, plotting his scheme. Lori can't stand the noise. She storms over, snatches the tennis ball, and snaps, "Stop bothering me." John flinches at her sudden move, but they're siblings. Lori still cares. She gives the ball back minutes later, kissing his forehead before she leaves. Truth is, John's never felt much warmth at home. He'd rather camp out gaming, but his parents and Lori push him to play tennis. Every night, Dad comes home and asks, "How was practice today?" John hates it, but he's too terrified to speak, every frustration bottled up like a pressure cooker. One day, the gardener comes to mow the lawn. John spots his chance. A bold idea hits him. Test his plan on the gardener. He grabs the man's drink from the side and says, "I'll go refill this for you." John secretly crushes sleeping pills into the drink. As soon as the gardener finishes it, he stumbles a few steps and thumps to the ground out cold. John prods him with a stick. No reaction. Perfect, he thinks, grinning. The experiment worked. Now he turns his plan on Mom, Dad, and Lori. After they drink the spiked drinks, all three fall into a deep coma. That night, once they're out, John creeps into Lori's room and touches her foot. No response. He goes to his parents' room, claps his hands. They don't move. Next, he tries to drag Dad out of bed. The man has to weigh 200 pounds easy. John strains until his arms shake, yanking his dad's arm across the floor, shoving him into a yard work cart. He wheels it into the backyard forest, then dumps all three into the deep pit under the cover of night. Lori wakes up. She's in a deep pit. Her parents lie unconscious beside her. She shakes them awake. The three stare around, confused. Where are we? Where's John? The pit's around 30 feet deep. They try a human ladder. Dad Brad crouches at the bottom. Mom Anna stands on his shoulders. Lori balances on Mom's, reaching for the edge. But it's too high. The ladder collapses. They scream for help, but it's useless. The area's miles from any neighbors. To cover their disappearance, John grabs his parents' phones. He imitates their voices to cancel plans, records fake voicemails, and texts their workplaces to call in sick. Then he drives his dad's luxury car out of the garage. First time behind the wheel, baby. He hits a town ATM, swipes Dad's card, and pulls out $300. John swipes his dad's card and finds $750,000 in the account. He's stoked. First, he hits a drive-thru for a mountain of fried chicken, his all-time favorite snack after gaming. His parents always called it junk food, never let him pig out. Now he stuffs his face, then drops $50,000 on the latest gaming console. Sitting on the floor, he chows down chicken and games non-stop. When he's full, he packs food and water, heads to the backyard pit. As he approaches, his family below jumps up, excited. Mom sighs in relief, seeing him safe. Dad yells, "John, do you know who did this?" John stays silent. "Get a ladder," Dad orders. But instead, John chucks the food and water into the pit. His parents freeze. Laurie's voice cracks. "Did you do this?" John drugged his own parents and dumped them in a pit. Dad explodes. "John, get that goddamn ladder now!" Mom panics, shushing him. She's already suspecting the worst, but can't bear to think it. John turns and walks away, ignoring their screams. They beg him to come back, but he only walks faster. 3 days later, Mom's best friend shows up. John's ready. "My grandpa died. Mom, Dad, and Laurie went back to our hometown for the funeral. I'm staying here for summer school." He lies smoothly. No cracks. The woman doesn't suspect a thing. Worried about John, she steps inside and offers, "Come stay at my place." John refuses, then blurts out a crazy request. John asks Mom's friend to spend the night. She's horrified, calls Mom Anna, but the phone rings from the bedroom. John fidgets, picking at his nails. The friend smells a rat and calls the cops. When police arrive, the door's locked. They think no one's home. Search the yard, find nothing, and leave. John's hiding under a window the whole time. Down in the pit, Laurie's stomach growls. She spots the food John tossed and lunges for it, but Dad Brad snatches it away. "I'd rather starve than eat his garbage," he snarls. Mom pleads, "We have to survive." Dad opens his mouth to argue, then slumps to a corner, rips open a cookie pack, and shoves them in his mouth. "Not bad," he mumbles, even as crumbs fall in the mud. Laurie picks up a dirty cookie and wolfs it down. At home, John plays piano casually. A storm hits, drenching the pit trio. No cover, just pouring rain. It's not until the next day that John remembers they're even there. John's kept his family in the pit for a week. To keep them from freezing, he brings down clothes and blankets. Mom Anna begs, "John, please let us out." But he drops the stuff and walks away without a word. Bored at home, John invites classmates over. They game all day, then hit the pool, holding each other's heads underwater to see who can hold their breath longer. They trash the kitchen, have a blast. When friends leave, John hands them a stack of cash. "Spend it how you want." To him, paying friends for hanging out is just how adults do it. By now, John's forgotten about his family. In the pit, food's gone. They're so hungry they eat rotten banana peels. And the worst part? Having to pee in a hole. In the pit, Laurie squats to pee. Her parents have to turn to the wall. When she's done, she ties a plastic bag tight and hands it to Dad. He tries to throw it out of the pit, but the pit's too deep. Gradually, the place reeks from missed throws. "We can't crap everywhere. Germs will kill us before help comes," Mom says. No one knows how long they'll be stuck. Meanwhile, John's partying with friends. At night, he flies a drone over the pit to check if they're alive. Mom remembers something. Last month, John asked, "What's adult life really like?" She didn't think much of it then, but now it clicks. He's trying to play adult by taking over. The mother and daughter smear urine mud on their faces to stay awake. The mix of their urine stinks, burns their eyes. With John skipping food deliveries for days, they're too weak to move, bracing for the worst. John's bored, too. One day, he decides to cook dinner. Following a food video, he makes fried rice. When it's done, he carries the plate to the pit. Dad Brad yells, "John, we'll forgive you if you let us out." Mom Anna sobs, "Please save us." Laurie stares up, begging for food. John pours the fried rice into a bucket, lowers it on a rope. Laurie grabs the bucket, but Dad Brad yanks the rope, trying to climb out. Snip! John cuts the rope. Dad's face turns beet red with fury, but he slumps down and starts eating anyway. John trapped his parents in a pit for gaming. Now, Dad Brad shovels food into his mouth as John sits by the pit, eating his own fried rice. "There's a fork in the bucket," he says. Mom finds it, then spots a bottle of Dad's favorite red wine. After eating, John heads home alone. He keeps flicking the light switch, making the room flash on and off. He's torn inside. Should he save his family or not? Finally, he drives to the forest. By the pit, his parents and sister are fast asleep. John's eyes well up, and
and he starts crying softly. The sound wakes Lori. She jumps to her feet, thanking him over and over for the fried rice. "I'm sorry," she adds, but John just turns and walks away. Next morning, Lori falls asleep again while Mom and Dad try to figure out an escape. Suddenly, a noise comes from above the pit. They look up to see a ladder being lowered. The three scramble up the ladder, but John is nowhere to be found in the forest. They race back home in a panic.
The family bursts through the door and freezes. John's floating face down in the pool. Lori screams and Mom and Dad jump in to pull him out, but it's all an act. John never wanted to die. He just wanted to calm their anger. In the end, scared he'll try something stupid again, the family starts respecting John's choices. Dad even brings in an excavator to fill the pit for good. Who would have thought? Half a year later, a 13-year-old girl walks into the forest and finds another mysterious pit. Looks like a new story is about to begin. The film is called John in the Hole. The young actor's performance is incredible. Even though it's a low-budget movie, it uses an extreme perspective to show the psychological changes of a kid who wants to experience adult life. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.